stuff like that. And it's, exercises for development. Sorcerer's Secret's a really good book. I highly recommend that one, especially if you're beginning or if you're looking for something a little bit more advanced.
Yeah, I've heard of like a lot of. Sorry, I'm like trying to think of what other authors I like.
The reason why he's looking back this way is because that's where our bookshelf is.
Yeah,
I'd show you, but it's in shambles and funky looking and stuff like that. My personal favorites are Janet and Stuart Farrar.
During Valiente.
During Valiente, I just recently got one of her books that I'm reading.
I haven't read a lot of Buckland's books, but I liked his Big Blue, Uncle Bucky's Big Blue book.
Yeah, Complete Book of Witchcraft. Some people say it's overly complicated.
It's really not that hard to follow.
It's not. It's actually written for a group when it was first published. After he did a revision, he included some solitary stuff in it. In the back.
I just don't get why they say it's so hard to follow.
Yeah, it's pretty straightforward. It's a good training manual and everything like that. And, with the tradition that he teaches, and that's sort of offshoot off of Gardnerian.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out what other books I really, really like.
Let's see. I also personally like Donald Michael Craig's Modern Magic for Ceremonial Magic. It's a good intro. It's got a lot of useful information. Most of its training is based on the Hermetic Order of the Golden Dawn.
Who was the guy who wrote Ogdiatic Magic? That one I can actually follow what they're saying. I like that they kind of... It's like the Thug Kitchen cookbook, but for high magic.
Ogdiatic Magic. He's talking about the small one or the big old ones?
The smaller one.
I can't remember who wrote it.
Anyways, look it up.
Yeah, it's called Ogdiatic Magic, and Ogdiatic Magic is a form of Hermeticism. It's more Greek-based than Kabbalah-based, I guess, Kabbalistic-based. It's really common with the Order Ashram Sophia, or, as they're commonly called here in the States. There's an international order, but from my understanding, they are separated, because Arm Solus and the Order Ashram Sophia. The Arm Solus was the original group, which was first had its works published by Llewellyn in Mysteria Magica, Planetary Magic, Sword and the Serpent. Those were written by Denning, Matilda, and Denning and Phillips. If you actually look at those books, a lot of it's going to be in Hebrew too, but the Order Ashram Sophia and the Arm Solus used more of the Greek pronunciations rather than their Hebrewic ones. And the reason for the Hebrew side is because it was right around the time the Golden Dawn stuff started to get published. And, the publishers didn't want there to be any confusion from what I'm told. So they kept the Hebrewic stuff in, so it looks more like a different version of the Golden Dawn stuff, but it's actually a tradition in itself in Hermeticism. And I personally prefer that form of ceremonial magic because I have an issue with Christianity. It's not really my thing. It never has been. I wasn't raised in a Christian household. I was raised in a traditional Native American household, and once in a while we went to church. I was forced to go to church, but it didn't really stick. It was
a family thing.
Yeah, well, it didn't stick.
Or a cousin.
Yeah, my Christian relatives were making me go to church, and one instance was I was probably like about 5 or 6, and my cousins were like, you have to go to the minister and he's going to ask you a question and stuff like that, so you can be saved. And so I didn't know what I was getting into. So my mom wasn't there. I was staying with my grandmother, and my aunt just happened to pick me up and take me to church with her kids. So the minister asks, whispers in my ear, do you believe in Jesus? And I look at him dead in the eye. Nope. I don't believe in Jesus at all.
I just picture you all cute.
He just had this look like I smacked him or something like that. I'm like, what? I don't. I never have, and I just don't. It's just not my cup of tea. So, and then when people get into like, in Paul Hewson's book, in the first part, he talks about reciting the Lord's Prayer backwards. I did that shit for I don't know how many days, and I got nothing out of it. I'm like, envision it releasing your shackles and stuff like that. And I was like, I think I released those shackles a long time ago.
Go to the church. I ain't your slave.
Right?
Basically how the ritual goes.
Yeah.
Yeah, with me, I wasn't really forced to, except for like a very brief period. Brief 2 periods. Yeah, I went there. But, yeah, Metro PCS, period. No, but I was only forced to go to like catechism when I was like younger, like around 8, when my dad was kind of like forcing me. My mom went on a Bible kick, like maybe when I was like 11, right before I started practicing witchcraft again. full on taking it on. And I remember once when I was faking it at the Christian church before I started practicing, I was like, these people are speaking in tongues. I'm gonna fake it. Let's see what happens. I faked it, and I was like, and they like believed it. I was like, oh my gosh, they believed it.
Yeah.
I'm a cool kid now. I make people believe me.
Yes. Other books that I recommend are on witchcraft. There's a whole bunch.
Hold up, I'll get up. I won't move the camera again like last time. Ow.
I just saw a book that's not supposed to be in here. It should be on our ceremonial bookshelf.
I've been telling you.
Yeah, we have 2 bookshelves. One dedicated to ceremonial magic, and the other is dedicated to witchcraft. Our bookshelf on ceremonial magic is in the living room, and our witchcraft bookshelf, which is here, is in our bedroom, which is where we're at right now. This is where the magic happens.
Literally.
Uh-huh.
There you go.
This is the revised version of Buckland's Complete Book of Witchcraft. It's one of my favorites. When I first got into practicing Wicca and witchcraft, I think this was the second or third book that I bought. The first book that I bought was Earth Power by Scott Cunningham. It's a cute spell book. Some of the stuff worked in there, so I didn't have any problems with it. Following that, I think I picked up something by Scott Cunningham on aromatherapy, and I didn't really know what it was at the time until after reading that.
I love this one.
This one is Hecate Key to the Crossroad by, how do you say her name?
Sarita D'Este.
Sarita D'Este.
That one's really cool because she personally works with her, and it's an account from other people who work with her, as well as different correspondences and sample locations. That was the first one I read by Dorothy Morrison.
This one is one of my favorite. Yeah, she's one of my favorite writers too, and we watch her videos. We're like,
not religiously.
Yeah, not religiously, but we go on these Dorothy. We call them the Dorothy kicks. I got one of her first books, Everyday Magic. It's over there.
Oh yeah, that one's good.
When it first got published. And she's really cool. This is one of my personal favorites. It was one of my first books I read on Hoodoo, Dr. Snake's Voodoo Spellbook. It is, from my understanding, out of print right now, and you can find it online, but they're expensive as hell.
I think it was like $40 for a used one.
Yeah. One of my personal favorites that I recommend in root working in Hoodoo is Hoodoo, Herb, and Root Magic by Miss Catherine Ironwood.
I second that.
Yeah. It's spelled with a Y, but it's pronounced with an I. And I know I probably shouldn't be doing this because they had some... they bumped heads in the past, but Lady Silverado. I like her stuff too. So, this is one of my other favorites, is Ways of the Strega by Mr. Raven Gramassi.
Might as well show that one together.
Yeah. And this one was actually re-released later on, being called Italian Witchcraft. The other one that I like too is The Witch's Craft by Raven Gramassi. And with Raven Gramassi, you have to understand that a lot of Wicca and books that are out there have been focused on the northern traditions, Northern Europe, the British Isles and stuff like that.
Don't be hating, it's just one portion.
Yeah, as to where Raven, he has that Strega background. From my understanding, comes from a family tradition. And his focus is more along Central Europe, around Italy and Rome and stuff like that. So,
I love this one.
Oh, this one is a really good book too. Witchcraft, Ritual, Spellcasting, and Sorcery, Theory and Practice by Lady Angelis. It's a pretty good book. It's a good primer.
This one.
We'll share this one in a second, but here's the other one. Paul Hewson's Mastering Witchcraft. I think this is like the second or third copy that I have of it, and we actually got a hardback copy. I think it was like a first or second printing, that had to come to the bookstore I used to work at. The Witch's Bible by Janet and Stuart Farrar. Again, both, kind of the Gardnerian, Alexandrian mix, mostly Gardnerian though. And she goes into this is actually 2 books in one. It's a good find. It goes into rituals, esbats, sabbats, ritual tools, the meaning of your tools, chants, spells, talismans, stuff like that, and the history of witchcraft. And don't be a hater and don't judge, but Silver Ravenwolf's Ride a Silver Broomstick.
That one is actually not bad.
Yes. And if you don't like her, oh well.
I can pinpoint why I don't like her, but other people just lump all of her stuff together as bad. Very few works I really respect. Yeah. Those are old, don't mess them up.
Yeah, Modern Witch's Spellbook.
Part 1 and 2.
1 and 2. But with Silver Ravenwolf, I like her. There's a lot of reasons why people don't like her, but back when she first really came out with witchcraft was, there wasn't much that was written out there. This was back in 1994. Roughly, this is around the time when I started practicing, and this book was one of the stuff that I started reading. Granted, she does give some misinformation, but there's going to be a lot of authors out there who do the same thing and give misinformation or.
She's just like, I don't care.
Yeah, she did something that a lot of other writers weren't really doing, and that was bringing paganism into modern.
The main light.
Yeah, into the mainstream, so that it was more accessible to other people. So I give her props on that. Some people say that she tells you not to lie, and then a couple pages later she tells you to lie, stuff like that. Yeah, take it as you will. Everybody's opinion's their own. But I personally, for me, it was a valuable source book. Silver broomstick, and to stir a magic cauldron. So, but that's just how I read it all. And you don't have to apply everything that you read, and ideally you shouldn't. Take everything with a grain of salt. You're not going to sit there and do everything that they're going to say. Yeah. But still, these are guidelines and for you to practice. This is another one of my favorites. What Witches Do by Janet and Stuart Farrar.
Yeah. So how I said that with Jim McGarry, the Black Toad. This one I look at like a little mini grimoire. And it's really good. Stuff works really easy in it. Traditional Witchcraft: A Cornish Book of Ways. I really like it. It's got a lot of the opening rituals, different rituals that you can actually plug in with the Black Toad. So.
I haven't read them. I got these for him like last year.
Yeah, but they're really good though. I love the description of the bucket. I still want to do rituals as like adoration rites to see how they go.
Yeah, and if you can't find these, it's understandable because I had to order these from England.
Yeah, shit's expensive.
It was. I think that was Dorothy Morrison's first book.
Everyday Magic? Yeah, I remember the first chant I tried out of there. It worked out really easy.
Yeah, as you can see, it's been worn and the pages are all dirty and everything like that. You can see where my thumbprints were and everything. But yeah, I love this
that one right there. I'm going to leave your hardcover.
This one is also one of those ones that I think is very important and that almost everybody should read, especially if you're involved in Wicca or witchcraft. It is The War of Lady Sheba. It is, with this, she got into a lot of trouble when she published her grimoire back in the 70s, and then Llewellyn picked it up about late 90s, early 2000, and they've started publishing it again. But it was first published in 1972, and it was said that she actually, she may have gotten banished by her coven for doing that.
I've heard of them breaking in her house and taking stuff back.
Yeah, and it's really common with old tradition witchcraft where if you once you're banished, your coven will. Huh?
You're out.
Yeah, your coven. The coven will sometimes break into your house to get the stuff back, even your Book of Shadows and everything like that. So.
Yeah. Did you want to go through the Lori Cabot's? Did you want this one up there or no?
Oh. Okay.
Your Christmas gift.
Yes. Power of the Witch, another good one. Love her work. And Laura Cabot's Book of Spells and Enchantments. I like this one.
Yeah, Grimoire of the Bloodthorn Witch by Grimalsi and Old World is in the living room.
Yeah. This is one of her recent books that came out that my love got for me for Yule.
Her Book of Shadows.
Mm-hmm. Book of Shadows by Laura Cabot. It's pretty good. It's a hefty volume. And
FYI, with a lot of these books, some of them have that little, if someone so uses this book in a negative manner, don't read that. Kind of fucks up the book for you.
Yeah, the book blessing or the curse of the book or something like that.
Yeah, because that's the activation of it when you read it.
Yeah.
I just avoided that whole section together. That's yours.
Sybil Leek, Complete Art of Witchcraft. I haven't read this one completely. It's on my to-read list. Mm-hmm. It's an old book, too. I'm surprised I haven't read it yet.
I just want to look like a badass. No, I'm just kidding. Oh. And then this one, I went through a lot of it. It was pretty good. I just didn't
I like this one. Reclaiming the Power of the Witch. Making Magic Making Sense. By... I can't read that. What?
Monte Plaisance?
Plaisance.
Yeah.
So it's on the Greek mysteries of witchcraft.
This one was one that I had actually started with. He hasn't really gone through it. It's called The Wicca Handbook by Eileen Holland. I think there's a newer edition out. I have this one. But I think there's a newer one that has like an intro by Cunningham or Buckland. But it's really good. Most of it is actually just a book of correspondences. It's actually where I got a lot of basic spell crafting from. And she gives sample spells. Literally, for a Wicca handbook, like maybe 15, 20 pages at most is actually about Wicca. The rest of it is about ritual and spell construction. And then one of my favorite ones, if you're into any work with Santissima Muerte or anything within that system or paradigm, is Grimoire of Santa Muerte. Spells and Rituals of the Most Holy Death, the Unofficial Saint of Mexico by Sofia de Gregorio. This one actually gives out proper prayers, correspondences, proper altar setups, and also the exact descriptions on what each color is, aspects of it, the symbolism, proper recitation of the rosary, as well as different rituals, spells, prayers, and cleansing, different things like that. And talismans and amulets, and a few recipes. Did I say recipes?
I think so.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's just some of the stuff that we recommend reading. These are actually books that we pick up a lot and look at for references. There's some more in the other room, but...
If you're looking at runes for spellcraft, this one's pretty good. It's by Lisa Peschel, and it's called The Runes.
Yes.
Kind of easy to remember. Other books that are in the other room that I'm not going to go grab right now that I really love are Satanic Bible, Anton LaVey, of course. I think Gabby was talking about that too. Me and her we were all talking back and forth lately. And
Hi, Gabby.
Hi! Hey, girl. And then Book of the Witch Moon. I used to have a copy. Really good book by Michael W. Ford. A lot of his books are going to be incomplete as well. You used to have an official copy of Luciferian Witchcraft, didn't you?
Yeah, I did, and I ended up selling it to help somebody pay their bills.
Yeah.
It was the biggest mistake of my life. Well, aside
Because-
from many others.
So, like, how big was it?
It was a lot thicker than that one that you have, and it was a big book.
Yeah. The one that I have is probably about that thick and, like, only that
Yeah,
big.
it was probably...
So, I would say at least, like, probably a half to 3/4 of
Yeah,
it.
it was about the size of Buckland's book. But it wasn't large
thicker.
print either. It was also a little bit thicker, too. It had some cool stuff in there.
Yeah, the one he was looking at this one, he's like, it's missing. I was like, I know, that's an unofficial one. That one's just printed for the public. Because you had one of the Order of Phosphorus' books, and then you sold it.
Yeah, I happened to find that at a secondhand store. Go figure.
Oops. But yeah, so his books, you're going to get a lot of good background information. Most of them you're going to have to plug in with ritual structures and kind of like tweak it to get it to work for you. Because again, the whole thing's not there. But he gives a lot of good background information as well as basic adoration rites. Bible of the Adversary by Michael W. Ford is good. He has a twist on the LBRP within Luciferian paradigm. What else would I recommend within that range? Sofia de Gregorio has another book on black magic, and that one's good.
Mm-hmm.
I think I showed you some of it on my Kindle app on my phone.
I think so, yes.
Yes.
And one thing too that you're going to take into consideration with a lot of these books, these people have taken vows and oaths of secrecy. So you are not going to get a complete education following books. You have to use several different ones and doing a lot of studies.
It's a lot
and
of cross-reference.
It is, and
Or just having a
eventually,
teacher tell you.
yeah, eventually you start to notice that there's similarities, and you start to see the pieces fall together.
Like being able to identify the codes.
Yeah, there's a lot of these books are going to be written in code and everything like that. I've seen some Wicca books on Wicca or spellcraft that tell you, all you're going to do is just draw a pentagram in the air, and then you're going to cast your circle, or you're going to cast your circle going counterclockwise, going Wittersons and stuff like that, and it's incomplete for your spell work. There's a lot of people say that it's that way to make sure people don't get in trouble and they don't do anything crazy to get themselves in trouble, or to evoke something.
The old saying, power shared is power lost.
Mm-hmm. So, and that's another thing too, and I think we touched a little bit about this, is that Gerald Gardner and Dorian Valiente weren't followers of the Law of Three, or the aspect of karma.
Are you sure Buckland was?
I've seen interviews where they've said, and read articles where it said that Buckland kind of put it into his books as just a way to help keep people from cursing and hexing everybody left and right. So it's one of those things that starts off as one of the earlier books and kind of spread out, and now everyone's...
Literally, the boy who cried wolf.
Yes.
Now everything's a wolf.
Yeah. So some of the founding fathers of witchcraft didn't necessarily believe in karma.
Modern witchcraft.
Yes.
So obviously, if you're an official, actual Vamtrad, not first generation,
yeah,
you're gonna have your ways set the way that you do things, the tradition you follow, your beliefs, the way you were raised within it and taught. But a lot of people, oh my god, I was initiated when I was 6 by my grandma.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Because I'm like, I don't think even if like we were to initiate our kids, it would be that early.
Mm-hmm.
No. I'd probably say like 14 earliest. And that's if they can prove it.
Yeah. And, if a person, and if you're pagan and you have kids, don't force your kids to be pagan if they're not into it.
It's the equivalent of forcing them to go to church every day.
Yeah.
Remember that whenever they used to make you do that?
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you want to be that parent?
No,
Do you? Yeah, you in the back?
Yeah, and I've seen it a lot too.
Especially the person putting their head down like, oh, that's so not what I was going for, not my intention.
Yeah.
I have to throw that in.
Yes. We got to say it at least once every other video.
Yeah.
But a lot of people, if the craft is right for you, then you'll find it. You'll look for it. Some people come to it late. Some people come to it early. Some people just aren't interested in it. Other people have a different path that they want to follow, whether it's spiritually or not. So
what was it that you said the craft always has this way of weeding itself out?
Yeah, and when I have students, because I teach magic and witchcraft, I don't do online classes, at least not yet. I've been kind of thinking about that the past couple of days. And how to
it's
do
a little
that.
bit harder to gauge that how their progress is, though.
It is. But what I've always told people is that, I'm not worried about who I take on as a student because the work weeds itself out. Because the universe can be very stingy with its secrets. Whenever you're going to plan to do something, usually stuff will go wrong. So it makes it harder for you to practice, but that's just the universe like, okay, let's see what your dedication is, and if this is something that's really right for you.
And if they're really going to put that much dedication in, it's not going to matter what falls in front of them.
Yeah, I'll have students who will sign up and like, yeah, I want to take all your classes and everything like that. Okay, 3 classes later, they're like, okay, where's your tools at? I don't have them yet. Okay, you can't continue class until you get your tools. See you when you get them.
Or memorization of incantations and various ritual gestures.
Yeah, and they don't have them down pat. And like, okay, well, once you memorize them, give me a call and we'll continue your classes.
The funny thing is, it's not even like one student here and there. I could see it with like a bunch of
It's happened a lot, surprisingly.
Because I'll sit in on some of his classes if I'm like not at work or anything, and I'm like, let's see. Just because I like people watching it, it's probably really creepy to some students.
Yeah.
And only if they're okay with me being there, of course.
Yeah, and I get students who are, I'm not sure why they take my classes in the first place. It's like, dude, what did you think this was? I mean, this is a magical education.
I'll do anything to learn magic.
Oh my god! You had to go there.
No, that's happened to me before. Like, before I moved here, I was like, yeah, I've been doing witchcraft. Well, have you been really taught? I was like, you mean like traditionally? At the time, I was like, no. And he's like, I can teach you witchcraft.
Oh my god.
I was like,
God. If somebody does that, kick him in the balls and run.
Yeah, it's the equivalent of a really bad movie where someone's drunk, like, you believe in destiny?
Yeah. I've had people do that to me, not as, not trying to teach me, but people wanted to be my students. It's freaking hilarious the first time it happened. We were, me and another, well, not really a friend, but more of an acquaintance, we were hanging out. And he had an interest in witchcraft, so we were talking, and I was like, well, come over, we'll go ahead and do some ritual together and stuff like that. So I did a generic full moon circle. Usually the way that I practice on my own, I don't bring anybody else in circle unless I know them really well. Like with the full moon circle that I do, it's me and him. If we have other people, it's a different ritual that we do. But if it's just us, we just do that particular one.
Yeah.
And it's fun. But, so this guy comes over, we do our full moon ritual. It was a Sunday afternoon. Late Sunday afternoon, early evening.
That little sinful child.
Yeah. And, it kept coming up. Spirits kept coming, telling me, tell him that you attract people with problems. I'm like, why? And he was like, just do it. I'm like, okay, yeah, I have a tendency to sometimes I attract people with problems and stuff like that. I'm not exactly sure why. It's just the way it is and something like that. And I kept telling him, there's like some health issues going on with you. Well, later on he revealed that there was some health issues and what it was that, and he was kind of tripped out that I was picking up on it. But after we did the full moon circle and everything, we were sitting here and talking, and he didn't drink, so we were just using grape juice for our libations and everything. And so he sits there and he's just like, I'll do anything to learn magic and witchcraft. do you want to teach me magic and witchcraft?
Yeah, clean my kitchen.
Right? That's what I should have said. But
Can you clean my bathroom? I really don't want to do it. Can you do my laundry?
Yeah,
we're not like that.
No, we're not. But he did that to me. I was just like, well, homie, no. I stopped talking to him after that.
No, don't touch me there. That right there is my no square.
Okay. So if you get mentors or somebody who tries to teach you like that, seriously,
you don't have to sleep with them for information.
Get them in the nuts so they learn their lesson. Trust me.
Yeah. What was it? Hans Holzer wrote a book about witches, and I think it was an Alexandrian circle that he sat in on for a ritual.
Uh-huh.
And I think it's a he that Hans Holzer is. I don't know.
I'm not sure.
But it's a big-ass book like that, thick, that big. It's just basically his experiences and the background on different magical things and covens and stuff. And basically he was talking about how he sat in on the circle and they were skyclad. And he asked the guy after, I don't know if it was actually the original Alexandrian circle. I think it was like a shoot-off coven. And he was like, so how is it the guys don't get boners when they're watching the ritual? Because they're actually focused, and we taught them focus. And basically, like, the explanation he gave was that they went all Catholic nun teacher on them with rollers. Down! So you will learn discipline.
Yeah.
Not always like that, but disciplined, and not necessarily like... It's not like... Yeah. Destiny.
Yeah. No. And when we do ritual with other people, especially if they're new, the first thing we tell them is we don't do skyclad.
Well, I mean, we have a couple of friends that we've done skyclad with, but it's because they actually had focus.
Yeah,
it was
they were okay with it
in the summer.
Yeah, so we've done skyclad circles before, and I don't have a problem with it because I'm not looking at the other person's junk. Usually we're working by candlelight, so you can't really see anything.
If you're actually doing the work, you're not paying attention to it.
Yeah.
Me, I've gone skinny dipping with friends before where I'm just like, I don't give a shit. If it's hot, I don't want to wear clothes. Not because I want people to see me, because I don't look the prettiest naked. It's hot, and I don't like being sweaty.
Yeah, so, yeah, but if you have somebody who's pressuring you to do, like, skyclad ritual, it's the only way they can teach
Probably
you.
don't want to work with them.
Yeah, don't.
Yeah.
Stranger danger.
Yeah, pretty much this equivalent of a really attractive woman going to a chiropractor for, like, what you should, like, someone that I know said that she went to a chiropractor, that in and out one that's supposed to take, like, 15 minutes at most, that they charge, like, $20 each visit. Excuse me. And she went in, she was there for, like, 50 minutes, and he didn't pop anything. She was like, yeah, he was just, like, kind of, like, rubbing my back and my shoulders, and then, like, brushing my neck, and then told me to come back next week to see him.
Creepy.
I know, I was like, you probably don't want to go there.
Yeah.
Stranger danger. I need an adult!
Yeah. I've had two where a friend of mine had gone to see, like, a spiritual healer, and she made the mistake of going by herself. It was the guy, his wife, and they were, he was doing, like, all these spiritual lessons out of his hotel room because he was on some sort of weird tour. I can't remember who the guy was. But,
did she find out about the tour on Craigslist?
I can't remember
or was
she
it
found
Tinder?
out about it. But,
Sorry.
it was to the point where she said that he was, working on her energetically and just started pushing on her, she was lying on her stomach, but the guy was, like, pushing on her back to the point where she started to have panic attacks and started freaking out, and she kept telling the guy, I need to get up. And the guy was like, no, you have this energy block right here, and forced her down, and it triggered some stuff for her. And, she freaked out and just left. But, that's something that you should do if you get to the point, be careful, especially if it's a one-on-one teacher or anything like that. Usually when I teach here in our apartment. And I always tell them, I was like, you're going to hear people walking in and out of the back because my boyfriend's back there or our roommates are here. There's always somebody home, and there's never anybody here home alone. Mm-hmm. Especially when I have students.
Yeah.
So,
mostly because it's the students that get kind of creepy.
Yeah, that's for my safety, in case one of them goes nuts on me or something like that. Because
one of them tries to tie you down and throw you in.
Yeah. Yeah, and, sometimes some students that I get kind of creep me out. I'll get them on occasion. Again...
How can I trust you if you try to run away when I untie you?
Right. They'll be like, well, I'll do anything to learn magic. Or I'll do anything if you can help me. And then, their energy shifts, and I was like...
You're like, oh, someone went all porcupine down there.
I'm like, okay, we take cash, debit, or check. That is it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and it happens a lot, and you just got to be careful with it.
What were we talking about the other day? I was like, yes, so and so said that they want to hang out. You're like, mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, I'm not the teacher here. You are. Teach them.
So, yeah. Yeah. Just because it's spirituality, don't mean it doesn't have its asses.
Yeah, pretty much.
So, paying for lessons is a completely different thing. Knowledge doesn't come free because you have to take.
The law of equivalent exchange. Something of equal or greater value must be given.
Yeah.
Full Metal Alchemist. Pop culture right back there, full circle.
Okay. Albany.
No, but
because
doing stuff for free is...
Yeah, because it's...
That's how they really take advantage of it.
Yeah, because with my, with to the point where I'm to the point where I teach other people to do magic and witchcraft, I've been practicing and studying for over 20 years. Yeah, I mean, you're not going to go to a doctor's office and be like, oh, you had to help me because, God says you got to help other people. Yeah, tell that to the IRS or your student loan company. Shit don't work.
I wonder if they tried that. Someone's probably tried that.
Probably.
God said I didn't have to. You're going to hell.
Right? So, compensation is, to be expected. And I see a lot of people who are like, well, they shouldn't be charging for magic, or they shouldn't be charging for readings. They shouldn't. A true teacher's not going to charge for lessons. Yes, they are, because first off,
the true teacher's got to eat too.
Mm-hmm. But pay their rent. They got to pay their bills. They got to take care of their stuff. They got to pay for all the books that they've been studying to get to teach you.
Also, if they're helping you make things or helping you with learning, that's also taking up your time.
Mm-hmm.
Time isn't free.
And Dorothy Morrison said it. Time is the one thing you can never get back.
Mm-mm.
So if I'm with an annoying student, they are damn well better going to be paying me cash.
No check bouncing there.
Nope. And actually, I had a woman who did that once.
She
wrote me a bad check, and her check bounced, and I had to pay the fee and everything like that. And I tracked her down, and I was like, okay, you pay me for the time, and then you also got to pay me for the fees that I got charged.
What did she say?
She avoided me after that.
Yeah, of course she did.
Yeah, but she paid me because things mysteriously turned bad for her.
Yeah, well, that's her own fault.
It's her bad karma.
Oh my god, yes! The crystals, so brought back reconciliation. Not reconciliation. God damn it. Fuck. Oh. I can't talk.
Language.
They brought back her karmic due.
Mm-hmm.
That's what happened, because the threefold law.
Yeah.
Yeah, and real witches don't go there.
No, they don't.
It's a dark side. Wow, that made my face hurt.
We've been watching stupid videos all day.
Shit Neo Wiccans say on YouTube.
Yeah.
And shit New Agers say. My crystal says you're not saying everything.
Yeah.
Oh, my Ascended Masters think I should do another Master Cleanse.
Okay. Yeah, and people, and it's sad too because people kind of expect, to go see